And we are live. Hey, Concrete.
Hi, girl. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much, honey. Trying to stay dry. We got a really bad storm brewing here.
It's raining here too. It's been raining off and on all day. It is currently raining right now.
Hmm. Okay. How's your week been going?
Not too shabby. No complaints. I am cooking dinner, so if you guys hear something in the background, I'm gonna get out of the kitchen in a second once I put everything on. But my week has been pretty decent.
Okay. Good. Good.
What
Good.
about yours?
It has been a very long day. I'm tired and sleep, sir. I
I'm
know I have to
sh-
sign the bottom. My son says I have to sign the bottom of his progress report. Say, hey, everybody.
Hey.
See you later.
Hey mom, can I still watch TV and then?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey mom.
You're welcome. Okay.
This weather probably isn't helping regarding you being tired and sleepy.
Girl, no, not at all. And one of my close friends just lost his father today, so that
Oh,
has me really sad.
yeah,
So
that's unfortunate.
yeah, so it's I lost one of my coworkers last week.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's just kind of been a little dreary, you know what I mean? A little
Oh,
dreary.
yeah. So, yeah, between all that you have going on and then this weather probably isn't helping, just kind of a gloomy week all
Yeah,
around.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Uh,
But the highlight is Bay's here, and so
oh,
I get a chance to enjoy him, and he's been cheering me up.
oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's really sweet.
I know.
Um, yeah, y'all always, you either here or he either there, one or the other. One or the
Child.
other. That's dope though.
Thank you. Thank you. So, are you ready to get into the topic?
Let's get into it.
Okay, let me send a shout out to everybody in the chat.
Hey, good
What's
people.
up? Third degree burns. Hey, Archer. Hey, Rafi. Y'all good?
Archer already down there starting some mess.
Child.
Hi, Raphael Hardwick.
You already
Uh,
knew it was coming.
he always. But about this topic, since Archer brings it up, the topic is more of a question, and the question is whether or not Black women are allies.
Mm.
And I think it's a very fitting topic, especially as it relates to myself and my co host, Danielle. And the reason being is because we personally get a lot of flack from both sides in this space. So we get, called, mammies from one side, and that we are basically trying to cater to the men in this space, and we don't have our own opinions. We're faking our femininity in an effort to impress the fellas and whatnot. And then we get from the fella side, we're getting side-eyed and being told that basically we don't belong. We basically haven't been given permission to speak on red pill topics or to claim quote unquote red pill, which I'm not. And I've kind of spoken about that in the past, but
Girl,
we
it's
get it from
apparent
both
that I'm not
sides.
either. So I'm gonna pick another color. I'm gonna be
pick,
I think I'm gonna
pick
be
another
magenta.
pick another pill to swallow because I guess you
Yes.
can't be red pill.
No, child, I'm not. I ain't claiming it no more either.
So we just get it from both sides. I mean, and that kind of that's where the question came from. When you have women in the space who are trying to be objective, forward thinking women who take accountability and who aren't afraid to point out the errors of other Black women, women who freely and openly talk about the areas of opportunity that we as Black women have, and have topics in order to address them. We invite the fellas over and try to have open dialogue and allow them to get their points across. um, you know can we, or women in the space like us, be considered allies?
Well, let me ask you this, Concrete.
Mhm.
What's your motive? What's your motive behind all of this shit? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, girl?
Yeah,
We got the
that's
side eye. What are you trying to do?
yeah, that's always a question too. That's always an assumption that we have an ulterior motive. My motive is to bridge the gap between Black men and Black women. Um, I personally, like, I love Black men. I love my brothers. I am like a huge fan of the Black man. Without him, there wouldn't be any me. And I am, an advocate for anything that leads to his happiness, long-term success. Communal success is included in that. I am a proponent of, anything that would propel him to the next level. So personally, I consider myself an ally. I
Mm.
say I'm on the same side. I'm on the side of the Black man. I am not his enemy. I am not, here under some false pretense to, try to get him to let his guard down so I can expose him in
Okay,
cyber
so
world.
okay, because you know what, it's always funny to me because when
Mhm.
they say we have a secret agenda,
Yeah.
I'm always like, what's the secret agenda? Like, what are we trying to do?
do
Um,
you do you do you feel like there's an ulterior motive, that are we plotting and are you plotting and scheming, or maybe
girl,
you
do
plotting and
you need more
scheming behind the scenes?
popularity? Do you need more attention?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, I think that's it's a very good question. When you say, like, what is our ulterior motive? Because we're constantly side-eyed in this space. And you know what? I try to be objective. So I have to give credence to the fellas. I have heard several stories of Black female YouTubers who have come in this space and
Mm.
basically they expose themselves to be malicious or have some sort of malice, and or huge YouTubers who basically stated that they were once in the Black man's corner, had his back, and now they're proponents for swirling and all other kind of things that would make one beg to differ.
Mm. Yeah, we've definitely heard that there have been women in this space who have come in under false pretenses. And in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, um, it's kind of interesting watching in this space, so to speak, because if you take April Mason, and April
Mm-hmm.
Mason was about telling women that they needed to be more feminine, that women needed to carry themselves a certain way, we needed to have more respect for the Black man. And then when April Mason got into some shit, honey, April Mason was like, F all y'all.
Yeah. And
And
you know what, though? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me let you finish, and then I'll give my comment.
well, it was basically to say that April Mason is like, F all y'all. Y'all ain't come help me when I try to help, when I try to do these things for the Black man. I don't get any support when I've supported you guys all along. And I kind of feel like everybody has those kinds of what do you call apprehensions? Yeah.
Well, and to be completely honest, so I mean, I feel like what April Mason did was wrong. However, my issue with her, which she was being attacked, if I'm correct, I think she was being attacked prior to her standing in her wrongness, because I feel like that was my issue with her, that she was like wrong and strong. If you back someone innocently and it was your family member and they came and they told you one thing, so you kind of launched an attack against the Black man, which was absolutely wrong. If you realize the error of your ways and you come back and you say, you know what? after watching that video, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. What I did was absolutely egregious. I should not have, and you acknowledge where you went wrong, then I can see. But the fact that she kind of was like standing on it, and then,
Oh yeah.
even kind of berating black men, to a higher level and to a higher degree, and calling them out even more once the men started to expose her, or quote unquote expose her, was my issue with it all. You know what I mean? If you screwed up and you just trying to support your cousin, and that's understandable, you should be willing to acknowledge that, as opposed to standing in your wrongness and just kind of standing on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then you have women like Oprah, and it seems like with Oprah seems to have it in for every famous black man that she can get her hands on, but I don't see the same smoke for them white boys who did some of the same egregious shit. And so that kind of really makes you want to pause, because it's like, well, goddamn, Oprah, you work closely with Harvey. Why don't you have the same smoke for him that you would have for Russell, or R. Kelly, or who was the other guy?
Bill Cosby,
Oprah been on a crusade, honey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the thing about that is, I was actually just talking to my fiance about her. Her, and I haven't. Since I can remember, I haven't considered Oprah an ally to the black man. She has not formed an allegiance with him. She does not, come out and publicly support him in any way. So I have long, like from the time I can remember, I never considered her an ally to the black man. But the interesting thing is, her cohort, Gail, is kind of doing the same exact thing. I was just reading earlier today.
Did you see her with Lisa Leslie?
Yeah, where she was questioning her about Kobe being basically a rapist, and she was kind of pushing, and all the allegations that she was kind of, and the insinuations that she was making in reference to this man. And Lisa Leslie was like, "No, sis, like you wrong. Like, that's not what I know. That's not." And I feel like what the media is doing is wrong. Like, she was kind of letting her know, putting her in her place. And that brings me back to the topic regarding, can black women be allies? I feel like, Lisa Leslie, we know that black women can be, quote unquote, an enemy of the black man. But can they be allies? Even taking Lisa Leslie as an example, can black women be considered, and having formed an allegiance and in support of the black man, and can they be trusted to be an ally, is the key question for me.
So I think black women can be allies, but what are some of the requirements for a black woman to be an ally?
Oh, that's a good question too. Really quick, I want to address something in the chat. Someone is saying that Oprah has done more for black people than almost everyone else. We need to put some respect on her name. So, has Oprah donated to black causes? Absolutely. Has she given to different black institutions? Has she built a school in Africa in order for, children in Africa to be able to attend school at no charge? Absolutely, she has. However, we can't ignore what she's doing as it relates to the black man and the specific attack that she's launching on him. Just because you do something, charitable, just because you engage in philanthropy, or you're considered a philanthropist, that doesn't mean that you ain't a crappy person.
Right.
You can't ignore her character flaws because of the fact that she's gave money to black causes. So what?
Yeah, I think that she really is tainting, or further tainting, the image of the black man with the shit that she's pulling right now. And when I saw Gail this morning doing the interview with Lisa Leslie, girl, I like to fell out of my damn chair, because I was like, the fucking audacity. And it's not like she doesn't have it, because you ever notice with the news, Like they put black people on black people, white people on white people, or black or white people on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then when
Yeah.
somebody really white and they get the black guy, it's usually like the token black guy. It's not gonna be like he real dark and he really questioning this white man in front of America. But I feel like it's some straight up bullshit when you put Oprah in front of when you put Gail in front of Lisa Leslie and you're asking her about charges that this man was acquitted for. And it's like, okay, the man is dead. You can't fucking recharge him for some shit that he's already.
Absolutely.
Like,
and the thing she was saying, oh, well, that was because the witness didn't testify. So, and you know, that begs the question, why is it that the criminal justice system is perfectly intact and it prevailed when they are able to, when they're able to convict a black man, but when a black man is acquitted, then there's a question of the validity of whether or not the criminal justice system worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's and then we can't ignore like what Oprah is doing and what she has been doing for many, many years. The amount of work that it's going to take to undo what she's doing. She's being used as an agent. Her and Gail. Gail is trying to get her 15 minutes of fame. She has never been a success, and she feels like, okay, well, maybe if I go after the black man, maybe I will, you know, become a successful journalist or, you know, a successful, you know, a successful newscaster or whatever she does, within my, you know, if I go after the black man, if I attack the black man, because that seems to be, you know, hot right now anyhow. You know, Me Too is going after him and making him the face of, you know, a sexual assault. Maybe if I jump on the bandwagon, I will finally, you know, become a success.
So what do you think about the YouTube, like with black women being allies in this space?
Okay, so I'm going to say this, and this is my own personal opinion. I think that and this is me answering, everybody has their right to their own opinion. I think that black women can be allies. I understand why black men are apprehensive to align themselves with black women and or to allow them in the circle, because we haven't really given them much to go on, especially, you know, in more recent years, or, you know, so I understand why they would be side-eyeing you and think that, you know, you may have some sort of underlying you know, malicious intent. But I think not only can we be allies, that it's important to have black women as allies if there's a desire to bridge the gap and, you know, correct the divide within the black community.
Okay. So, you know, and I would initially, no, I'm not even going to say initially, I would honestly have these same arguments, but the pushback comes as, okay, so you're in this space, you're in a space that somebody else built, you know, you probably just want some dick and attention. What do you really have to gain? Like, because to me, it's like, I want to see my brothers succeed because I want brothers to succeed because I have a black child, have a black father, but I think that would make for a better people, right? Then it's like when you see black men leaving the community, and I'm considering like these are our black men, right? You know, I'm thinking like our black men are leaving the community. Then you're told these are not your fucking black men. These men do not belong to you. You have. If you have a man, you have your father and you have your family, those are yours. That's what you can claim. You really can't claim a whole community of people. And so then I'm sitting here and, you know, I kind of wonder about that because it's like, okay, no, they're not mine. But if me as a woman, if I do something really, really bad as a black woman, right? Nowadays, it's put out there like, look at this black female fuckery. Look at what these black bitches
Right.
What are these black you know, and it's like
yeah. Well, okay, so you said a lot and I'm trying to think. So first off, I want to say that I think that it's unfair to be so dismissive of Black women in this space that you minimize their presence as them seeking attention, especially if you don't have anything to support that assertion. I know that you're in a relationship. I'm happily engaged. Aside from you, I've never met anyone from YouTube. I have no desire to get close to anybody in this space. I literally want to see Black men succeed. I literally feel that, I can aid them in some way by trying to communicate with sisters, by trying to basically convey the message that they're attempting to convey in their brute way to sisters, and helping them to kind of see the need for us to break down these walls and come together. I just think that it saddens me that they want to minimize our presence in this space to something so silly. But you also said something about I'm sorry, what was the last thing that you just said
Um,
in reference
okay,
to? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
besides the DNA, because you said we're not looking for attention.
Right.
You said about the minimizing us in the space.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there?
You said something, I'm sorry, that I wanted to touch on, that last thing that you said, and I can't remember what it was, but it'll come back to me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that is our purpose for being here. Like, if we just want attention, there are other social media platforms that will probably garner us more attention than coming into this space and pretending that we're trying to aid Black men and Black women in some way. Like,
Well, let me ask you this question too, Concrete. Would
Mm-hmm.
you consider yourself the face of femininity? And I ask you this because this is the thing with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to be held to a standard that I am not. Like, I don't want to come in and pretend I curse.
Yeah.
I talk a little shit.
I don't think anybody can consider themselves the face of femininity. No, I'm absolutely not the face of femininity. I'm flawed, just like everyone in the chat, just like everyone that can hear the sound of my voice. And that is what I wanted to touch on. You said, basically, if you do something wrong, how you are stoned because of it. I think that is kind of what I struggle with too in this space. I've said openly that I am human. In addition, I am trying to remove this cloak of indoctrination. I'm trying to undo the Western conditioning that I've undergone
Right.
by living in a Westernized society, going to public schools in this society, and etc. So, I can't say that I won't fall short. I can't say that I won't make mistakes. I can't say that, there aren't continued areas of opportunity that I have. David Monroe said, women aren't wired to just care about, women aren't wired to just care about Black men randomly, to care about men suffering. You might be right about that. I won't argue with that, but I can say that my fiance is a Black man, and we have very intimate conversations about what he experiences, and that's ultimately what has propelled me to the position that I'm in today, to have such a strong desire to find a way to fix this, find a way to unite us, and to kind of to minimize the divide between Black men and Black women, seeing and, hearing what he experiences. So maybe I wouldn't have. I think that, Danielle has a Black son. She has a Black man, so it may not be something that we're innately wired to, but if you have Black men in your life that you love and care about, you can certainly develop that desire.
Right. And then collectively seeing, really understanding what it is that I'm seeing with our community. like I've told everybody, I kind of started out on Facebook, and so a lot of things that I'm hearing in the YouTube space, I've literally heard for years on Facebook, and it's growing. And so it's like I'm taking notice of it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is probably a lot more serious, and it was a lot more serious than I was taking it then. But it was like, you know what, there are a growing number of men who feel like this. um what
Mm,
what can I do to, I don't know if I don't think it can be stopped, so to speak, but
hmm.
if I can do anything to help, um,
Yeah.
I don't mind being honest about my life and my life experiences,
Hmm.
and to be truthful about female nature.
Hmm.
Because I'm guilty of a lot of this. I'm not gonna say, well, fuck it. I'm guilty of a lot of the shit I've talked about, so to speak.
Hmm.
I don't want to give myself away
But
too much, but that's my nature.
even when you think about, like, going back to David's comment, if there's anyone in the world that can understand or that can empathize with the Black man's suffering, who else but the Black woman? It's interesting that he said that. But if we can't identify with it, then I know dang well you don't think women of another persuasion gonna be able to identify with and empathize with your suffering. I mean, come on, like seriously.
But you know what it is, though, concrete. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of men don't feel like the women have suffered the way that they've suffered, and but they don't
Yeah.
feel we've gone through half of what they've gone through. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so if you talk about a single mother, the first thing they're going to tell you is like, you received benefits, you received some type of benefit, you've gotten child support,
Well, I
you've
don't
gotten
argue
help
with
as
that.
far as the system is concerned.
I'm not. I never. Yeah, I'm not implying that we have that we are dealing with the same things in this society as Black men do. I actually agree with men who feel as though Black men have a tougher time in this society. I will tell anybody that. I don't want to make a comparison. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh well, women go through child like I'm not gonna. That's just silly. I agree that Black men have a tougher time, that Black men are targeted in this society, that Black men are shut out in certain segments of certain segments of this society. I know that Black men have it tougher. I would never disagree with that. I wasn't implying that we as Black, I'm just saying we can empathize, by having Black brothers, Black men. Like, you can't tell me that it doesn't bring me to my knees to see a Black man shot in the middle of the street. You
Oh,
can't tell me that I don't get outraged and incensed when I see, Parchment Prison and how they have Black men living down there in Mississippi, and
girl.
that it doesn't move me to action when I see my men, my brothers, the men that I love, my people, berated and subjugated and assaulted, and like that. I am impacted by that.
Right, right, right. And as a matter of fact, today is Trayvon Martin's birthday.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, so
His 25th. He would have been 25 years old.
yeah, kind of did me in too. He, so are you ready to open up the panel?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get some brothers on here and see what they think about this topic.
Okay.
Well, sisters too. If you guys please, we want more women to join the panels. For some reason, the last couple shows, women haven't come up, but you guys are always welcome.
Very much so. Very, very much so. So, hey everybody, let me scroll up because I've missed quite a few of y'all and spoke. Okay. Let's see. Child, I missed quite a few people. Hey T3, hey Hurricane Henry of B More. What's up, Black Uru Strikes? Hey Aaron. Hey Baba Simba. Hey, cut to the chase. Let me let David Monroe up. Third degree. Rael. SW1. Hey Chica. Cool man, cool man. Masculine mercenaries. There, I said it. What's going on?
April?